Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is our astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, April 30th through Saturday, May 6, 2023. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Now, I love how Jupiter delivers. Jupiter in astrology is the biggest planet in the solar system. Jupiter is the greater benefic, the guardian angel. Jupiter is all about increase when it's very favorably placed. Jupiter also is a protector, and Jupiter is winding up its cycle of Jupiter in Aries. That's going to change soon. And Jupiter in Aries is about guns, weapons, the military, things like that. And Alec Baldwin, who is in Aries, he's had this situation looming over his head for a while now, where tragically the situation with the gun going off on his movie set. Now, Alec Baldwin has been cleared of all of the charges, and Jupiter in his sign, he's in Aries, so Jupiter in Aries protected as far as his situation and being cleared of the charges. Jupiter is also a natural teacher. It's philosophical, the higher level of learning. Jupiter rules over Sagittarius and Pisces, and so with this situation where Jupiter did protect Sun sign Aries, Jupiter in Aries also brings in the lesson of the bigger picture of what was happening there and protection and that whole situation. So Jupiter delivered, protected him for this cycle in his life, and brings great lessons as far as greater awareness and responsibility when it comes to the situation with using weapons on a movie set or anywhere else, of course. Also with Jupiter, which is just about happiness and good energy and vibes, it was in the news that Jack Nicholson, who is a Taurus, he's been dealing with some health issues over the past couple years. He made a very rare public appearance at a Lakers game last night. He loves the Lakers and he was courtside. And with Jupiter moving into Taurus on May 17th, Jupiter will bring him support and protection with Jupiter going into his sign. So for all the Taurus out there, with Jupiter going into Taurus ruled by Venus, may this bring you abundance, beauty, good luck, and blessings. And this will help out Taurus Jack Nicholson, that he'll forever and forever be my big time crush. He's a great actor, a great movie star, just wonderful. So it was great to see him back home again at the Lakers game, and Jupiter will protect him coming up in the near future. Jupiter wants to support and help us out. Next week, I'll get more into the Jupiter entering into the sign of Taurus, but this is some good news that, we all know what's going on in the world, but hearing some happy news too is essential as well. For Sunday, April 30th, we are starting off the week with this very supportive and lovely moon in Virgo, making an earth trine flow to the sun in Taurus. So when we have the two luminaries, the sun and the moon, the two lights, and they're in perfect harmony with each other, they're making an earth trine flow. The moon being what you're conscious and what you see, and then the moon being the underneath, the mirrored image of how you really feel and see yourself. So this inner and outer, masculine, feminine energies, making this very happy earth trine flow. This is very healing. It's being connected to what you see, how you feel, what you want, because we're looking at the sun and the moon here, and the element of earth is work. It's what you're devoted to, what you love, what you want to lose yourself in. When we do work that we're passionate about, the limitations seem to just melt away because you're in that transcendent energy of doing something, doing the work. This is the element of earth. Nothing heals like nature. It's springtime. Get out in nature. The moon in Virgo, that is the digestive tract. Virgo likes to tweak and look at all the small things that can be adapted and changed to make the health better. Virgo separates what's healthy, keep it, what is toxic, poison, release it. So this very healthy process as we're starting off the week as far as what to keep, what to let go. The moon is increasing in light, meaning the power is increasing, the energy is increasing. We're now in second quarter to full moon energy, which second quarter to full moon always corresponds to summertime. The light is increasing, the heat is increasing, the energy is increasing. Lovely, beautiful way to start off this springtime week as we are now in a fixed season. We're in Taurus time, which means we're in one of the months of the year where the season is fixed. We're not ushering in cardinal a new season. We're not shape-shifting and morphing out of not fully out of the past season or into the new. We're in fixed. Monday, May 1st, happy Beltane, happy May Day. We have Pluto stationing retrograde. Now, Pluto stationing retrograde, we just got this little introduction of Pluto in Aquarius. Now Pluto is going to move back. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. And Pluto is the underworld. It has to do with transformation, life, death, rebirth. And as Pluto stations retrograde and starts to make its way back into Capricorn, this is the going very deep as far as what structures in your life have to come down at this time. In other words, Pluto represents death and the process of saying goodbye to certain things so the new life can come in. For instance, when a child changes from a child and moves into adolescence, there are certain things that have to be released at that time. We can't keep carrying the past with us and expect new things to grow on land that is filled with the past, weeds, things like that. So this Pluto stationing retrograde is saying goodbye to a big chapter in your life where there just isn't growth any longer. When something is stagnant, it has died, and we need to release that so the new life can come in. The Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is the releasing of certain friends that you have outgrown. Aquarius is friendship, and Aquarius is always about how do we move into the future. Now, the company we keep, we've all heard the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. This Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and this little introduction that we've gotten with the Pluto in Aquarius. This energy, this cycle, is about the friendships and the connections that you have in your life and really telling the truth. If the people you would like to bring along with you into your future, if they're really in resonance with you any longer. This Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is the cold, hard truth. It's very extreme because Pluto is a very intense, extreme planet. Pluto is also about where we are not in control. The way friendships and groups in your life, and just the way they are, and you can't control it, nor should we ever try to control other people. Groups and people will end at this time. This is necessary to move into the future. So this Pluto stationing retrograde and moving retrograde will be a financial situation because it's going back into the sign of Capricorn. Also, Capricorn is always about achievement and success, going to the top in the world. There are many definitions of success, but Capricorn is the world, meaning how are we getting to the top? Think of it this way. See it as a positive thing in the sense of when we have to move on, the people that you are moving away from, they have a destiny to fulfill. So it's also favorable for them to move on. At different times in life and different stages of growth, people come together for a while. And yes, some of the people in your life, they're lifers. They can be there for the rest of your life. But there are also situations in groups and friends where we came together at the appointed time, fulfilled the destiny that needed to be fulfilled, and then they have to move on to their destiny and what their soul agreement is, as well as you do. So what do? You say goodbye, you bless it, and you release it with this Pluto moving retrograde in the sign of people and friendship and the future. And life is about movement and freedom. If we're not growing and we don't have freedom and we're not moving, then it does become stagnant. We're standing still, and something has to end at that time. Also on Monday, May 1st, we have the Sun in Taurus making a conjunction to Mercury in Taurus, but Mercury is still retrograde. So this Sun-Mercury conjunction, especially in a money deal, negotiating something financial, something that you want to last and stand the test of time. This is Taurus. It's fixed earth. It wants to build something solid. This Sun-Mercury conjunction tying into a retrograde, it's not the time to finalize a deal or say this is my final word and it sticks. Not during a Mercury retrograde. Mercury stations direct on the 14th. So it's a couple of weeks. Please wait. You can go back and look over the plan, the contract, all of that kind of thing. But to give the final yes, signing on the dotted line, not during a Mercury retrograde. Tuesday, May 2nd is definitely a big cosmic superpower having to do with relationships because we have the moon entering the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. The moon in Libra makes an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. So this air trine flow is the communication around relationships. So expect very serious negotiations and conversations around relationship with the Pluto now retrograde, as far as, are we going to stay together or is it time to let it go? With the moon in Libra making the air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius, if there is a parting of the ways, it can be done very lovingly, compassionately, cordially. Sometimes we do say goodbye and break up, but we can do it in such a way that we don't carry any lingering negative emotions that tie us in more than anything else. So if you have to say goodbye to a situation, May 2nd, with this moon in Libra making that trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius, this element of air, it can be a parting of the ways that does happen in life in a very even keel, balanced, which is how the moon in Libra always likes it, in a very harmonious way. The best deals that we make or the best conversations that we have, hopefully they're done in such a way where everybody walks away from the situation or the negotiating table or even ending a friendship in such a way that we've made peace and we're moving on. Wednesday, May 3rd, we still have the moon in Libra ruled by Venus making an opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries. Now, the moon in Libra, and just Libra and Venus overall, it's about beauty and clothes, the aesthetic, hair, makeup, how things look. Beauty heals us. And with the moon in Libra making an opposition, which is a separation aspect to Chiron in Aries, which is hair, the appearance, the head. Aries rules over the head. Then you may find that with all of these changes going on and people being released from your life, new friendships and people coming in, you may find on May 3rd that you also want a new look, a new image, a new style to go along with the new sense of you. This is Chiron in Aries. Thursday, May 4th, we have the moon in Libra making a really favorable aspect here. The moon in Libra, ruled by Venus, makes a trine to Venus in Gemini, and then the moon travels and makes an aspect, an opposition aspect to Jupiter in Aries. Now, this is the moon making connections to the greater and lesser benefics, Venus and Jupiter. Even though we're looking at the moon making an opposition aspect to Jupiter in Aries, which is the greater benefic, this window of time here is very auspicious because of the way the moon is making aspects to Venus and Jupiter. Friday, May 5th, we have the lunar eclipse at 14 degrees Scorpio. This eclipse is a malefic eclipse. The moon in Scorpio is in her fall. Scorpio is ruled by Mars in its fall in the sign of Cancer. In astrology, the malefics, Saturn and Mars, they separate, they take things away, which is one of the reasons why the ancients called Saturn and Mars the evildoers. Also, this eclipse makes an opposition to the planet Uranus in Taurus, fixed Earth Taurus. This lunar eclipse is a loss of light. Eclipses are always a loss of light. Things that you thought would be there forever, that you thought would never change. This eclipse eclipses it out of our lives. Know where this eclipse is taking place specifically in your chart and how it's aspecting your chart. Because if you watch the videos that say this eclipse based on your sun sign or your rising sign, that is way too general. It's sloppy astrology. You need to know where the eclipse takes place specifically and how it's aspected in your chart. Because Scorpio and Taurus ties into money, Taurus is I have, this is my money, my personal possessions. Scorpio is merged money, merged inheritance, taxes, collaborations, investments, crypto, Bitcoin, all of that. This does tie into a financial situation. But to know very specifically how it's aspecting your chart, astrologically, to just listen to the very general interpretations that are saying, it's a full moon in Scorpio, it's going to be very emotional. Well, what full moon isn't emotional? The moon is accepting the full light of the sun. The moon mirrors back to us the true self-image of how we feel about ourselves. This full moon involving the money signs will mirror back to us the true self-image. As far as, do you see yourself as poor, wealthy? It's a money full moon eclipse. Again, that is general in the sense of know how this is aspecting your personal chart. Saturday, May 6th, we still have the moon in Scorpio. The moon will change into the sign of Sagittarius, But May 6th is the royal coronation. I can't believe, as an astrologer and the history of royalty and their astrologers, they chose this date for a royal coronation. Unbelievable to me as a traditional astrologer, but there we have it. To know that this date was chosen under a full moon in Scorpio and an eclipse with all of these aspects happening. All I can say with this one is that prayers and blessings and sending good light and good vibes. Later on Saturday afternoon, the moon does change into happy-go-lucky Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. Positive, fiery. Sagittarius is playful, it's comedy. So this is how we're closing off the week, with the moon entering Sag, then making a square to Saturn in Pisces, also ruled by Jupiter. Whatever it is that you are celebrating over the weekend, please know when to quit, because the thing about Jupiter is that it keeps going and going and going. It doesn't recognize limitations or boundaries. So Jupiter partying over the weekend, making that square to Saturn in Pisces, and I've said this many times, that Saturn in Pisces is like Darth Vader just showed up to the party and said, the party is over, we got to pull it back, we have to deal with addictions. So be careful over the weekend. We are in full moon energy, and this one is a malefic full moon eclipse. So be careful, do the best you can, and I always close out my podcast with the overall astrological theme for the week, or the overall energy running through the week. And this one clearly is with the Pluto going retrograde and this eclipse, this malefic eclipse. This very clearly is the theme of things in your life that have to end at this time so that you can move into your future. And it's very much tied into the people, the groups that have to leave at this time so that you can move forward, and so that they can too, and go to whatever their destiny needs to fulfill. Thank you, everyone. Be safe. Have a beautiful week. I will see you all in the stars. Thank you.